The drama surrounding the $7,500 EV credit in the US is actually quite a bit worse than it seemed to me initially. You see, initially I thought probably just government incompetence. Now, I am less likely to believe that. I still hope that is the case, sincerely. But I do want to ask, corruption? Definitely no. Inflation Reduction Act requires the Secretary of the Treasury to determine vehicle classifications using criteria similar to that employed by the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, and the Department of the Energy to determine size and class of vehicles. Yet the classifications adopted by the Treasury/IRS are not consistent with the EPA classifications, as you can see from this table below. And how does the government respond to literally not including the most popular electric SUVs in the program? Which, by the way, the bill is designed to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. This does the opposite of that. But okay, anyway, what is their response? They say a Treasury spokesperson then reached for comment for Clean Technica, stated that in determining how vehicles should be classified, the administration used CAFE standards, which are pre-existing and long-standing EPA regulations that manufacturers are very familiar with. These standards offer clear criteria for delineating between cars and SUVs, and this is where it gets worse. You see, if I didn't dig deeper, I would be upset, not happy with this explanation, but I would be like, okay, whatever, you want to play games here, okay, Tesla can adapt to it, whatever. We'll go along with it. And before I show you the most ridiculous part, you have to understand this first for it to really show how ridiculous it actually is. So the Model Y is not getting the $7,500 credit because the running clearance is not good enough, supposedly, even though clearly EPA classifies it as an SUV. So for them, it is good enough. But here, it is not high enough. So we would have to raise the Model Y to make it more inefficient so that it would become more of an SUV, which it already is, but it's just not enough of an SUV. What are these standards which IRS refers to? Corporate average fuel economy standards is what they are called. First enacted by Congress in 1975, the purpose of CAFE is to reduce energy consumption by increasing the fuel economy of cars and light trucks. When these standards are raised, automakers respond by creating a more fuel-efficient fleet, which improves our nation's energy security and saves consumers money at the pump, while also reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, so I can overlook that the Inflation Reduction Act is designed to move us from, let's say, fossil fuels to more like self-sustaining energy, right? We want to be more self-sustainable. We want to be energy independent. I'm all with that. I mean, we are doing it in a very roundabout way. This Jeep right here has an electric range of 21 miles, while the Model Y has over 300 and it does not get the EV tax credit, but okay. At least there's some electric battery in there, right? Eventually it will somehow help. 21 miles of electric range, it's better than 0. This makes even less sense. This is literally something that was designed to literally actually make cars and SUVs, which a Model Y is an SUV, according to EPA. It's literally designed to make vehicles more efficient. And their rules are going to make a Model Y, an SUV, less efficient. Your job is to make vehicles more efficient. There's no out from this. Like with Inflation Reduction Act, you can say, oh, we just want, to be energy independent. But if you use a little bit more energy, who cares? Okay. I can get not really on board with that, but I can see that point of view. Here, I see nothing. How do we justify this? This is such utter incompetence of the government that I am witnessing here. And when I say incompetence, this is, from what I'm seeing, that would be the best case. Corruption? Who in their right mind would criticize the government? Of course the government is perfect every single day. They have never made any mistakes. There has never been corruption. So of course there's no corruption here. Nothing to see here. IRS only had to do one thing. Use criteria similar to that employed by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. And that's it. Basically, what you could have done is looked at EPA classification and say, oh, okay. Whatever they say, that's what we're going with. I thought that people that work for the government are not exactly known for their work ethic, Why did they just not copy someone else's homework? They could have literally done that. Why go out of your way and find these other interpretations of what an SUV is? Why do all of that when you could have just copied something that was already done, that's already established? If you are going to change things, that's going to create an uproar. The classification decisions made by the Treasury are not consistent with the letter or intent of the Inflation Reduction Act, are unfair to full battery electric vehicles, and are confusing for consumers. The confusion and uncertainty for consumers is indeed high, and many have chosen to not buy for now. Now, I understand these games, and that's just how the world works. So I'm not actually upset about any of that. I'm just pointing out the absurdity of government design standards that are designed to improve efficiency of vehicles, which are literally going to do the exact opposite of what they are designed to do. The world is not fair, and it has never been. We have to play the game, and Tesla will play the game, and it will beat everyone at that game. Tesla clearly needs to do something about the increasing inventory. The inventory is higher than it has ever been for Model Y in units, and Troy estimates that this number could be 10 times higher because Tesla does not show duplicate cars available in the same location. As a consumer, I would wait to see what Tesla is going to do, some sort of discount or something. Something has to happen at this point. So as a consumer, I would wait, and Troy thinks the same thing here. Perhaps the most obvious, more long-term solution is to add an adjustable air suspension to the Model Y to increase its ground clearance, which would then make it meet the $80,000 MSRP limit without 7 seats. Some short-term solutions would be to release Model Y standard range for a cheaper price, make the 7-seater option free instead of $3,000. This one, I'm not sure actually how much that would help. This report indicates that only 11% of Tesla customers choose the 7-seat configuration model. I'm on Tesla's website, and as you can see, when I choose the 5-seat Model Y, there's no wait time really. You can get a delivery in January, but when I choose the 7-seat model, you have to wait. There's a backlog now. Can Tesla immediately get these seats? Would Tesla immediately be able to change its production lines? That's a question. Now, certainly making it possible to configure the Model Y performance with 7 seats, that would be quite helpful, assuming that you do have these extra seats and that you can upgrade or change these production lines very quickly. Another solution is to sell a software limited Model Y center range for $54,000 with the option to unlock range after delivery. This has been done, by the way, in Canada. And in Canada, it worked well. Tesla was eligible for a federal incentive, and that made a lot of Tesla customers happy, and it certainly increased demand. If the Treasury is okay with this, and if they do not consider this as tax fraud, like Canada did not, Canada was fully fine with it, then if inventory is really looking bad, we don't know the actual exact numbers because Tesla doesn't show duplicates. If inventory is getting really bad, this might be the quick, simple solution to all of the problems, but increasing the clearance is really the long-term solution here. And by the way, we can price every vehicle up to $54,999 basically. So I'm not sure why Troy would say 54,000. Maybe give them a few more options to choose to add. And for Model 3, it is now time to bring back the all-wheel drive long-range version. I believe it was sold for a few dollars shy of $58,000. So just price it at $55,000 to get the incentive, and that, I believe, will sell pretty well. My name is Matt Postis. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.